How have you been since then, since we saw you before Christmas?
I think I'm in such a better place now. I think I've probably cried for the whole 25 minutes I was on last time. So I do feel mentally in a better place, but I think it's really hard. Like, mentally, I feel like I'm ready to just kind of move on and I just want to do da-da-da-da-da. But at the same time, I can be washing the dishes, I can be walking to school with the boys and I'll just get a flash in my head, and I'm hoping that eventually that them flashes will stop. You know, I drove past just in Manchester the other day and I drove past the prison and bang, it just, do you know what I mean? So but I'm in a much better place than where I were. I certainly feel it.
You know, are you still glad that you went public with it and that you came out and told people what had actually happened to you?
Yeah, because I think following the show, I just had so many messages from people saying, gosh, this happened to me. And because remember as well, I mean, there's a lot of abuse out there, but it's not very common when someone comes out and it's their own brother. It's very rare. So for someone to come out and say, actually, it was my brother that did this, you know, there's so many women and actually some men as well from an older brother.
Yeah, we mustn't forget men, actually.
Yeah, that have said, gosh, this has happened to me, and I thought I was the only one and I didn't realise, and so I don't regret any of it.
The research that was by the Office of National Statistics, they asked people in England and Wales, were they abused in childhood, and 1 in 10 women said yes, which is quite a staggering number. And the thing I found very sad about, well, it's a shocking figure, but 75% of the people they asked, men and women who'd been abused as a child, 75% of them had never told a soul, not a soul.
Yeah.
And this is what you've said you wanted to go public because you want to say to people, talk to someone. Yeah,
because you'll never get over it. Well, you'll never get over it anyway. People say to me, do you think you'll ever get over this? And I never will get over it. And my therapist has always said to me, Karen, you won't get over this. You just learn to live with it. And that's all you can do. You can just learn to live with what happened. And I think coming out talking about it, you think you are coping with life fine. And, you know, everyone else is just crazy thinking. I mean, I've had, you know, with the selfies and stuff, and I used to think everyone is crazy. I'm absolutely fine with life. And actually, you know...
Selfies you mentioned.
Well, Karen and I, you and I nearly came to blows over the selfies, and I feel now... knowing what I know now about why you took them and what it was all about, I feel awful about it, but I can see why. I understand why you were doing it.
It was control, and it was... I'm in control of my body. No one else is in control of my body now.
Yeah, and you said all that to me.
Yeah, and now I realise that actually, do you know what? It was really just a cry for help, to be honest with you. And I think if we would have had a cup of tea backstage, then maybe I would have come out a bit sooner.
But did you realise then it was a cry for help? You know, when you were posting, if people didn't know that, you know, you used to post all the selfies and kind of low-cut tops.
And you were really proud of your figure, and that was your whole shtick, wasn't it? You know, I'm Karen, this is me, but it wasn't the real you.
No, it wasn't the real me. And I've said, like, just recently, like just on Sunday, I just literally practically emptied all of my wardrobe because I don't even know who I am. Like right now, I don't know who I am. And yesterday, I tried on so many different outfits because I don't know what I am. And back then, it was just a front. It was all nothing but I am this woman who's come through this and everyone else is crazy, I will do this. And actually, I was very insecure, very shy, and I probably just wanted a hug.
From when you were younger and you obviously went through all of this, how did you find it when you had to get into a relationship, get intimate? Did you have to admit?
Not always, no. It was just really bad, just the small things I just couldn't do. Like, I used to have a little bit of a panic if I'd kissed someone, but I had really bad nightmares. So for me, it was like, how can I really get close to a man? Because then if you spend the night with them and I'm waking up screaming my head off, they're going to think I'm a lunatic.
Were you doing that quite often?
Oh, yeah, practically every single night. And I used to think, oh, gosh, and, you know, now I've got a really nice guy now, and he's so sweet. But back then, I never really loved anyone either, to be honest with you. I never really...
And when you were younger,
not even Simon, your husband?
I think I will always have a love there because he's the father of my children, but I think for me, I always had relationships where I was in control, where I never really opened myself up for true feelings because I never wanted to get hurt, and I always wanted to think, I'm in control of this situation, and if I walk away from it tomorrow, then I'm fine. I never really wanted to get hurt.
So what about now? Because now, like Janet said, we see a whole different person. So, you know, we judged the person that we saw in the selfies, the confident Karen.
Well, you just had a total image. It was a complete, confident, this is me, and now your new Karen.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just born again. I know it sounds a bit strange.
No, it's all right
But do you know
to
when you
say
just
it.
talk about like romance now, like I
Yeah.
smile now because when I think about David, like he's really, really super sweet. And I actually, for the first time, I feel like, oh, I'm actually in love with a nice boy. And I've never really kind of felt that.
What
And
about your children? Sorry,
Yeah.
Rose.
Oh.
Have you told the children anything? 'Cause they're
No,
very
not in
small.
immense detail because I think they're too young. So they're nearly 7 and 9, sorry, and
Yeah,
we've
that's
not
very
had any kind of conversation about relationships really. So I think they know bad things have happened because I think with my boys also, I do everything for my boys. Every work I do, everything I live my life, I do for my boys. But I also want them to know that life isn't easy and you've really got challenges ahead.